And we're back. We'll
Oh
just put a
man.
commercial in there.
Yep, exactly.
Um, oh, I rip and I rhyme. I rhyme and I rip. This is the rhyme that Dylan spits. Hold on, the banana's calling. Hello, it's Poppy. More commercials. Um, yeah. Full disclosure, I had a tie linebacker of the year. I couldn't leave Cam out, so that was the only award that
Absolutely.
I had to choose. I had to split,
I
and
had
I
a
knew
tough
you were
time
gonna say
choosing.
Uchenna Nwosu because he is, the linebacker of the year. But I had to put Cam in there just because you can't
Yeah,
snub Cam.
I hear you. I hear you.
So that's a dual award,
Absolutely.
and it's both well deserved by both players.
Well
Two excellent
deserved.
guys. Cam can come back next year, right?
Yeah, he'll be a senior if he
And
decides to come back.
our boy Uchenna is off to the NFL.
Honest to God,
He'll probably end up on like the Patriots,
all the best for him,
win
man.
multiple Super Bowls.
Hopefully.
Where are we at? We're like 47 minutes into the call,
Yeah,
but maybe like
I
40
think
minutes
we
into the
got
podcast, so we're in good shape.
we're in good shape. We got time. We got enough time. We get good on time. We're good on time.
Uh, Excellent. Uh, Let me see here. I know we had some more talking points, but do we want to
Well,
continue the award show because we got three more awards to give?
we do. We might as well finish off the awards.
All right.
I know that's what the people want. We don't do
Okay.
any. We don't do any BS like talk radio on the AM dial where we tease people.
Beautiful.
You know,
Most improved player of the year.
I'm also going to give that to Uchenna Nwosu.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think he was good last year, and he's been a solid player for us. But man, he became a beast this year.
Those block passes, man. I don't know where they were coming
Oh
from.
my gosh, all
He might get drafted
all
as
day.
another one number one cornerback. Do me a favor, put your arms up.
He's got some
That's
he's
Rue
got some
Chenna
great
right
arms.
there. That's the salute. And then not only is his name excellent, but hearing it butchered by many broadcasters, you know. Uchenna Nwosu. Nowusu.
Yeah,
Lots of ways to say it. Always fun. My most improved player of the year, Christian Rector.
he was a hell of a player for us.
Another dude who stepped
Hell of
up
an outside
big
linebacker.
when we called his
Mm-hmm.
number, A couple of guys went out. He might have been a starter in the beginning of the season. I don't know, but the linebacker position, especially in our scheme, is one you got to shuffle a few guys through, and you need versatility. I just felt like he played hard. In only
Absolutely.
10 games, he had 11 and a half tackles for a loss and 7.5 sacks.
Yeah, he created a lot of havoc out there. Absolutely, he did.
I think
And
he had something to do with that fumble on the goal line that won us the Texas game.
he had to step up for he did. He had to step up for us
And
because we were missing Porter Gustin for most of the season,
yep,
and he really kind of filled that role for us.
yep. And in
Filled it
addition
pretty
to
nicely.
yeah, he didn't do anything last year too, so that helped me with my most improved. He was
Yeah.
there, but he didn't.
Let's hope Porter Gustin comes back next year and has a strong season too.
I'm hoping, man. Porter Gustin looks
Yeah.
like he could, curl two refrigerators.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a monster. So
Absolutely.
looking forward to seeing him next year.
The problem is you can't stop the steroids right before the season. You gotta keep going, otherwise you get
You
hurt.
just got to keep going. Yeah, exactly.
Just playing
Otherwise,
that
you're
dude's
miserable.
that dude's built from elk meat and Mormonism. Mm.
whatever, whatever gets it done, man.
You ever see like his social media posts in the off season?
No,
It's just like him all jacked, just shooting guns every day, shooting guns.
nice.
Just goes home, picks up a gun, shoots it for 5 months, comes back to football.
That is amazing.
Okay, I got a one I didn't even tell you was gonna be here. Are you ready for the
Oh boy.
curveball? Let's see if you can hit
Okay,
it.
throw it at me.
Rookie of the
I'd like.
year.
Oh, rookie of the year. Wow. Well,
Great movie.
really incredible movie. Incredible movie.
Let me give you
I mean,
mine, and you might tag on to
I
that.
gotta give it to. Yeah, go ahead.
Your boy Tyler Vaughn's.
Tyler Bond was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Rook, red shirt,
Yeah,
but
that's
straight
true.
Rook.
That's true.
And I saw Tyler Vaughn's tear up Servite his senior year. It was disappointing. It was a game we
Did you
were
really?
in. We could have won it if Tyler Vaughn's didn't just score like 4 touchdowns.
Oh my god. Where did he go to school?
Um, was it Amat? Bishop Amat?
It was either Ahmad or Bosco, probably.
Yeah, it was Amat.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my rookie of the year.
that's pretty. I mean, that's a good pick. I gotta go with Stephen Carr though.
Yeah,
Carr go.
yeah, absolutely.
He's just he's a beast, man.
S Cargo. I am having a little bit of trouble hearing you, but
Are you really?
you're
Hold
just
on.
kind of a little bit fainter than before.
Any better?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Just make
Maybe
sure
I'm.
that you're yelling as loud as you can.
Yeah, of course.
And then that leaves only the most valuable player of our team.
And whose turn is it?
Hmm?
Is it my?
I think it might be your turn.
Okay. Well, I gotta go with Rojo. Ronald
Rojo?
Jones. Absolutely. 100%.
Rojo, man. It's a solid choice. I'm glad you picked it because I did not.
Best
And
player on the
yeah,
team.
yeah, without him, things are all bad. We definitely don't go 11-3. Tell you that.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, he was excellent. He was electric. He was strong. He's finished runs. Everything, like you said, everything you want. The most complete back we've had.
Everything you want. Yeah,
If he came
exactly.
back as a senior, woo, look out. With that line that hopefully stays and doesn't make a terrible mistake and all sticks together and
You never know. I mean, I highly doubt it, but you
mm-hmm.
never know. He could just decide to come back.
I think he's ready for the
See
pros.
about that? He's ready.
I think he's gonna do just fine.
He's gonna go.
Uh Anything you want to add? The Texas Tesla's driving off into the sunset.
He's man. He's sure racking up these awards. Do we have a big enough FedEx package to send these over to him?
Oh, I was gonna send I know an Amazon driver, so I
Perfect.
was just gonna sneak it into their car and then he can break in when they get there. Um I was gonna tape it underneath like a bag of Fruit Loops.
But it won't be breaking in because we said it here on this podcast. So you know, you've been warned.
Wasn't me. Uh have you ever heard that? The Texas Tesla?
I have heard that.
Alright, I saw it and
Probably,
I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
probably from you.
I had a feeling you had heard it. Nah, I just found out about it yesterday. Charge those batteries, baby.
The Texas
Um,
Tesla. Yeah.
my most valuable player of the 2017 Rose Bowl winning season wasn't even a question, to be honest with you. Had to go with Uchenna Nwosu.
Nice.
I feel like that
I
dude
like it.
easily won us games just with his passion and his fire. He'd get
He
in
was
there.
amazing.
He always had a big play when needed.
Definitely our defensive MVP.
You know, you
I'll
look
give you
at,
that.
it's 3rd and 5. The game's on the line. Sack. Uchenna Nwosu. Just, showing up. All
Yeah.
those block passes, too. Those came in key moments.
Oh yeah.
Some dudes just
Absolutely.
filled the stat box up, against Western Michigan. But not Uchenna. He was out there battling.
Right.
And just an engine that wouldn't quit. I saw multiple plays where he was just blocked stone cold. Keeps fighting.
He
Keeps
was
fighting.
great.
Fight right through.
Yep.
And that's the heart that an MVP needs.
Heart and soul.
Dude's got a heart of gold. And a great name.
Great name. All right. So who was the most disappointing?
Most disappointing player? Not even his fault, but just the way I feel. Uh, oh wait, Port Augustine.
Yeah.
because he was hurt. It's not his
Yeah.
fault,
Yeah.
but I just had such high hopes for him. And even in the first game or two, I did not see much of a spark. I saw
Yeah.
the way he was looking in the offseason. Dude's a tank. Um,
Yeah.
and I thought, the predator position.
Even when he was playing, he didn't play very well.
Mm-hmm. He
I
he
agree.
he looked a little lost on the field, maybe a step too slow.
Yeah.
Still a lot of room for improvement. I think he'll round out and end up being a really really quality player in the long run.
Definitely.
But he was the player I was most excited about this year in the beginning of the season, bar
Yeah.
none. And
I
then
feel you with that.
where are we now?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yourself?
That's a good one. I actually I went a little bit outside of the box on this one.
Don't tell me it's the blind snapper.
He was not. I almost gave him MVP because that's how bad I felt
Yeah.
about our year. I would not give him those disappointments.
Keep your eye on
I
the
thought he was
prize,
going to
bro.
start. He was going to win the job.
Hold on,
He
hold on.
really.
Too much excitement. I can't hear you.
I thought,
We'll edit that part out.
I'm disappointed he didn't win the job. I'll just say that. He didn't win the starting job. He didn't do a bad job when he was out there.
He's perfect.
I mean, yeah. But no, for most disappointing, I'm going to go with Clay Helton.
Ah,
I'm going to say that all these great players that we just mentioned at his disposal, when it was time for us to show up for a big game, we didn't show up. Nobody.
yeah.
Not Sam Darnold, not anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, you got to look at the coach. I mean, now granted, yes, we beat the teams that we were supposed to beat. Yeah. We beat Stanford, great. We beat UCLA, awesome. Everyone else did too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to crush him for losing to Notre Dame, but we don't get our butt kicked like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I think again in the Cotton Bowl, I mean that could have been a way different game if we don't abandon the run.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can call the offensive coordinator, but dude, if you're the head coach, you got to step in.
Yeah, time will tell with T.
Cotton
Martin.
Bowl,
I don't know how I feel about T. Martin. Like I said, our passing game was good. We rushed the ball well. I feel like our offense was moving it.
I don't know how I feel about Martin either because I feel like last year I loved our play calling, and this year I feel like I hated it.
time will tell with T. Martin because he's going to get the starting
Yeah,
job. Did they hire someone at Tennessee yet?
they did. Yeah, they hired the defensive coordinator for Alabama.
Okay, probably not a bad choice.
Probably not.
but T. Martin's
True.
going to get a starting job somewhere. So we'll see. How he does, and that'll play out. But yeah, I'm right there with you, man. The time for I was trying to justify what happened at the end of the season. Trying to say, well, we won the Pac-12 championship. And 11-3 is a pretty good record. But I started looking at numbers, and we're USC, man. We're supposed to be elite.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be up there with the best of them. We're
And
not even close.
even from the get go, I mean, we just barely beat Western Michigan.
Yeah, and the time for excuses is over. There was a time when we could say, well, we had the sanctions. We don't have all the players. That's gone.
Right. Right.
It's time to put up or shut up, and
No more excuses.
and at the end of the year,
No.
getting smashed by Ohio State in a disrespectful manner is a loss on the season. When we look back on that, that's what we're gonna remember.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
If we would have played better, I mean, the defense played great in the second half. I'll give them,
Mm-hmm.
the kudos that they deserve because they definitely kept us in that game.
Defense played hard,
but we just, man, just throwing all of a sudden, you throw it on first down, you throw it on third and down. All of a sudden, it's 3rd and long, deep in Ohio State territory, or deep in our own territory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just never could get off the ground.
Yeah. I got some points to. USC gave up 159 rush yards per game, 4.4 yards per carry. Ranked 70th in the nation. And when it counted, teams just ran right over us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did definitely have a really weak overall a weak defensive line.
Special note, UCLA was 129th out of 130 teams in the nation at stopping the run. Awful. Go Bruins.
Go.
This is the most telling stat for me. This is, it's a collection of stats, but
they're showing
we're 121st in the nation in penalty yards per game. Okay, and one being the best. 121st. We gave up 70 penalty yards a game.
Looking at you, Coach
7 first downs every game. And that's fundamentals, That's coachable.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you can't be the number 1 team in the nation if you're 121st in giving away free yards.
Right. Absolutely.
120th in the nation in turnovers. We turned the ball over 27 times. We forced some turnovers, I'll give them that. That's one of the things we did well is we got after the quarterback. I think for a little while at the end of the season we were number 1 in sacks, but 14 fumbles. You can't be turning the ball over every single game like that.
We had a good defense when we had a lead, or when we had teams in, predictable passing. We had a good passing defense is what we had. We had a great pass rush. Like you said, Nwosu getting up to the line and batting balls down left and right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a good pass defense.
Yeah.
Overall. But we couldn't really stop the run to save our lives.
That Washington State game, man, that put a bad taste in my mouth because we had that game won. We needed to charge down the field and score, and we did.
Exactly.
And then our defense gave the game away.
Right back. What did they do? They ran the ball right up the freaking gut.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That great quarterback that they had coming into that game, remember Luke Falk? He was had the best passing stats in the nation at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Over 1,000 yards passing already, and yada yada. He got benched by Washington State. He got benched.
Yeah.
He was, and they were not known. That's what they're known for. They were not known for running the ball, and they ran the ball down our throats.
Yep. Yeah, when you got the backup quarterback in, you should probably be stopping the run.
You can't blame that on playing on a Friday night. I mean, you got to get used to playing whatever day you got to play. Whatever day the game is on the schedule, that's when you show up.
Oh yeah, no, Friday night's no excuse.
Yeah.
No excuse at all.
Can't use that.
Good football team will play Monday morning.
Good football team.
So, and then, I don't know how I feel about I just watched the guy, Clay Helton, and I don't know what kind of sense I get from him. He seems like he's a nice enough guy. He's respectable, but I don't know if there's that fire there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is his first head coaching job. So, I mean, we're kind of letting this guy learn on the job, but he doesn't really have time because we're at SC. I mean, how many more? I mean, like you did say, he did win the Pac-12 championship. I mean, beat Stanford twice.
But truth be told, who else was going to win the Pac-12 championship this year?
Nobody.
It was awful.
Nobody was good.
Did the Pac-12 win any of their bowl games?
Won the Pac-12? No, we were one. Well, yes, we were 1-8.
1-8, solid.
Couldn't even tell you what won.
So I mean, truth be told, we beat a weak Pac-12 Because look at how we
Yeah,
played against Pac-12 teams, and then Washington State got us, but you know we kicked UCLA's ass, but then Notre Dame smashed us.
yeah, exactly,
And that was another thing.
exactly.
All three losses came on the road,
Yeah, and
which
we. I mean,
I think how you play on the road is very telling. And that's a head coach thing. You got to get your players ready
well,
mentally.
that's another thing. I mean, we will give that to Clay Helton, though. I mean, we are undefeated at home with Clay Helton.
Defend that
So I mean,
house.
that's good. I mean, that's awesome, actually.
Yeah,
And we
I
played.
I waver.
We've had some. We'd have some had some good teams come in there, and we've done well. That's definitely something to be said.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give the guy some credit. But yeah, I mean, I just think he needs to maybe evaluate, you know, a little better
Mm-hmm.
on the fly. I think that's what makes guys like Pete Carroll, guys like Belichick, guys that are good coaches realize, when their shit's not working, they can do something completely different and have their team prepared to do that and be just equally as good at it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be able to make adjustments. You got to be able to see, you know, today our running game is working. Today our passing game is working. Today this is, you know, we came in thinking we were going to be able to run the ball, but hey, guess what? We can't. So, just making those proper adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I mean, it's easy for us to say and you, but that's what you got to do as a coach.
Yeah, man, I feel you. What are your thoughts on his recruiting success? I think it's a little. It leaves me a little wanting.
I mean, it doesn't do any good if you can't coach.
That's true, but at the same time, I think that when you look at the national recruiting rankings, I don't know
Yeah,
that
I
we're
mean,
where we need to be to compete.
yeah, I mean, we've had some big signing days in the
Yeah.
past. I mean, you never know where these guys are going to end up. Half these half these guys are verbally committing to USC and then committing, or
Mm-hmm.
verbally committing to somewhere else and then committing to USC. I mean, we did get it. We had a good, early signing day and got some guys that we didn't know we were going to get. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think, and like I said, I mean, we're going to get the athletes. I think it's more about coach them up.
Yeah.
We're going to have a top 25 recruiting class.
Mm-hmm.
Now, should we be like top 10? We should be, but if you're in the top 25, you should be able to compete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you're at least getting a couple 5 stars, a couple 4 stars. You're getting some solid guys, and get the right kind of guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
get the guys that'll fit your system and the guys that you can put in the right position.
And who won't end up suspended for God knows what because they don't tell us.
Oh God, who knows? Oh my God.
Who's all right? Maybe the final question of the night. It's two questions. Who do you think will be our quarterback next year, and who do you want to be our quarterback next year?
Two good questions. It's hard to say because it's all guys that we really haven't seen.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, for the only guy we really have seen is Fink,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't look terrible. I mean, saw him in garbage time, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to say.
Yeah. It's
I
it's
want I want whoever is going to be. I like kind of like Sam Darnold with kind of a dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
I want somebody who's going to be able to get out of his own way. I hated Cody Kessler because he couldn't get out of his own way. He's like the slowest man I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You need somebody who can move a little bit. You need somebody who can be accurate. You need somebody who can protect the football. And
Is occasionally willing to take a little bit of a risk to throw it down the
yeah,
field.
Yeah,
That was the issue with
exactly.
Cody Kessler, is if someone wasn't wide open, he wasn't throwing it, or he was throwing it out of
Right,
bounds, which is
right,
fine, wins you some games, but when the game's on the line,
right. And
you
Darnold
got to
was
get
kind of
that
the opposite.
completion. You got to force it in there. You need a
Darnold
little
was forcing
Brett
it.
Favre in you.
Yeah, exactly. And Darnold just I appreciate that, but he never progressed through his reads.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did you see Darnold throw into triple coverage or
Yeah.
double coverage? Almost all the time. And like we were talking about, maybe I have a sour taste in my mouth about Dante Burnett. It's because that's the only guy he freaking looked at,
Oh yeah, yeah. He
and
had,
he
like I
always
said, he
had
had
two
tunnel
or three
vision.
guys around him. Yeah, and he only had two or three guys around him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
And
being
dumping it
forced
off to
there,
Rojo or Carr is an excellent option.
right? Exactly. Or just being able to. I never saw him progress through his reads.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
I
like
appreciate a guy who can throw it away. I think Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time because he throws it away all the time. That's what I think. I
yeah,
think Tom Brady doesn't take sacks. He gets rid of the ball.
that's true.
They always talk about the shot clock for a quarterback. You got 3 seconds. Sam Darnold feels like
That's
he has 18 seconds because he's going to start
yeah,
dancing around and juking guys and
that's
running around. And
that's true.
that's all well and good when it works. But when you're
That is
back there and you hold it for 3.5 and then you just get swamped,
very true.
uh, I think they're going to give it to Fink because, they already had the competition between Sayers and Fink this year to see who could be the backup. And Fink
I think it's
won.
wide open, man.
So I think it's
Who
Fink's
knows? It
job to
could be.
lose. It'll be wide open, but I think it's Fink's job to lose
It could be Daniels.
subconsciously. He's been there 1 year longer than Sayers.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it could be Daniels, dude. You
well,
never
that's who
know.
I want it to be.
Yeah.
I think your boy Daniels is going to be the best quarterback we've ever had.
I've never seen it play.
I have not seen him play either, other than video highlights, in which he looks
Yeah,
incredible. I know he just dominated the Trinity League, which is a very difficult league.
it is a difficult league.
He played against some other excellent teams outside of the Trinity League, destroyed them. You go to Bishop Gorman and destroy them, that's a big deal, man. They are a
That's
quality
true.
team. And this dude just wrecks people. Since
Well,
freshman year. He's so good, he left early. He was like, I'm done with this. I beat this game.
I didn't know you could leave early for college.
I
That's
didn't know
another
that
thing.
either. He's like, you know what? Turns out I am 19.
Apparently, though, he's taking like 11 classes in this semester. Something ridiculous.
Okay.
So,
Are they all
A,
basket weaving?
I hope so.
Just back to back. He's gonna show up to the game with a basket on his head instead of a helmet.
He's going to be
Made
at
it.
practice, but he's going to be at SC football practice all the time. So.
Just throwing footballs into baskets, baby. Yeah, I think JT Daniels is the future. You look at I'm well, there's that guy Matt Leinart who was surrounded by a pretty great team, but I think if you just look at performance week in, week out, I think Matt Barkley is the best quarterback USC has ever seen.
Barkley?
And yeah, and he's straight out of modern day. I think modern day just knows how to make them, man. They've had the same
Yeah,
football coach forever. All he does is win, 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 no matter what, and
yeah.
and they just teach their guys really well, man. You talk about coaching a team up.
He does. He is a good coach.
Modern day
I'm
is
surprised
quarterback you.
I'm surprised he hasn't left for like a college
Yeah, I'm
program,
surprised too, man. He could get a good job.
Man, maybe SC should hire him.
They're probably giving him some pretty good money over at modern day. They're not spending
Oh,
it on the school. That place is a. Nah,
yeah.
I don't want to lose
I don't.
fans. Go Servite.
They probably are giving him good money over there. Although that jacket that he wears looks like he's had it since like 1972. Not a big. It's like a jacket, maybe.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, I just said it's probably his lucky jacket. Yeah.
So Yeah, and you hear this Saturday, Amon Ra's going to just announce where he's going. He said he already made his decision.
On the Army football game or whatever.
Yep. So it
I'll
could
be
be a
tuned
big
in.
day for us.
Gotcha. I hope so. Oh, there's also that offensive lineman that's playing in that game that we got. I forget his name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's supposed to be really good.
Okay. We need
Supposedly
it.
he's been having really good practices. Yeah,
I believe we
never
only have
knows.
one O lineman in our recruiting class so far, so still time though.
No, I think we have a couple.
Okay, could
Maybe
be
only
wrong.
one good one. But yeah, I think I think we still got plenty of time on our recruiting class.
Yeah, I would agree. Although that Ohio State game did not help.
No, no,
That's
it's
the thing,
not.
man. I you don't want to get embarrassed like that. I knew when we fumbled that ball, I said, "Uh oh." Let's try to keep this thing
Yeah,
close because if you just get beat like that, kids see that and they don't want to go to your school.
that is true.
If you lose, you lose. If it's a close game, whatever. But if you're on the national spotlight and you get your ass handed to you, puts and it's
Yeah,
and it's the last thing that people see.
that didn't help us.
What
That's
are
for
your
sure.
thoughts talking about recruiting? I was reading a thing today about the BS sanctions they gave us, and it was talking about like how part of that subconsciously, like nobody talked about it, but it was a slap in the wrist for or a slap in the face rather for having all those celebrities there and Snoop Dogg, Will Ferrell, all that going on with the Pete Carroll era. A lot of people felt like that was an unfair recruiting advantage and it needed to be punished. So my question to
I have
you
heard that.
is, should we bring it back?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Why not?
I think it's a big advantage, man.
Everyone else gets to use all their advantages.
Yep.
You know, use whatever advantage you can take. Yeah,
Miami has the turnover chain.
yeah. How come no one talked about that thing?
That's an unfair recruiting advantage, man. Look at all them gold diamonds. Have you heard that song, Turnover Chain? I'm gonna play it for you. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. It's my favorite song. I was hoping we would get a turnover chain or a turnover in the Cotton Bowl so I could make it the jam of the day. Turnover chain song. Everybody put this on your playlist. I don't know where my
chain, turnover 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 chain. You seen big homie get the fumble, he get a turnover chain. Seen big homie get the pick up, he get a turnover chain, 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 turnover chain. You see the whole crowd don't use her. We want the turnover chain. See the whole crowd going crazy. We want that turnover chain, turnover chain. Turnover chain is deeper than jewelry, deeper than bling. It's deeper. See, this is our thing. The you is the team. It's strictly for King.
turnover chain.
That's amazing.
Listen to it on the way to work tomorrow. I know you got a long
Oh,
commute.
definitely. Will.
It's by Solo D.
That's amazing. Bringing you a little closer.
All right, man. I don't think I have any more notes. It's been real. We'll continue to do this. We'll do a signing day one. We'll
Absolutely.
talk
Signing
about
day
we'll
one.
talk about recruits we know nothing about. Be like, this guy could be good. What about that guy? Hey, could be good. They say
You know
he's good.
the best part of talking about recruits is you only ever see good things. This guy's gonna be incredible.
Yeah. Nobody's ever gonna suck.
No.
Except for all the 3 stars. The 3 stars are definitely going to be terrible in my mind. If you weren't good enough to get at least 4, there are 5. You couldn't get 4. Most of the 3-star guys are just white, though. It just means they've yet to bloom.
That's true. That's an extra star.
Yeah.
That's an extra star. Oh my god. He's just automatically a 1-star.
You gotta earn those stars.
Oh man. All right, brother. Well, I'm actually gonna hit the sack right now.
All right, my friend. Sleep well.
But it was a great time, man.
Yeah, I had a blast.
We definitely got to do this again.
Yeah, I was thinking we can go to the spring game too. That'll be important.
That is not a bad idea.
We'll take it on the road, mobile podcast.
Mobile podcast. You want to know when the spring game is?
It's in the spring.
Okay. I'll clear my calendar.
Last I checked.
I'll make sure I don't have any spring plans.
Yeah, free it up, dog. Priorities. Traveling. All right.
All right, brother.
Signing off on the, you got to say your name at the end for credits. Signing off, Traveling Trojan Podcast. I'm Quinton.
I'm Goose.
Adios, amigos.
Adios.
Beat everybody!
Brother.